Hello and welcome back to the channel, Kelly Legends Media. I want to say thank you to all the subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for your support. And I know I've said this before. This might be more for people that haven't watched my channel before. But if you hit that like button, it's a good way to help support the channel. Doesn't cost anything. Also, hyping the video would really help. It'll help it move it through the algorithm, get shown more by YouTube. And if you're not a subscriber and you often watch the videos, if it's not too much trouble, please go ahead and subscribe. You hit that subscribe button down below, and then another box is going to pop up with a little bell. You move that bell to all. You're going to have all personal, different settings. Move it to the top setting where it says all, and you'll be notified whenever a new video drops or if we go live. So we're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We have a very short time left, so your support will be highly appreciated. Thank you very much. Okay, so today's video was an experience that I had while in prison that really taught me a lot. Okay, now when you go to prison, usually the first thing that you're asked for, if you're of Hispanic descent, is your paperwork. They want to read your paperwork, see what your charges were. Not just that, but your court, your court papers, anything that you have that shows what you were arrested for and how you got there. Okay. Wow, the ice cream man ain't crept up on me in a long time. Or the paleta man. I think the paleta man shook the spot, tell you the truth. I haven't seen him anywhere in the neighborhood. Anyways, so as I was saying, that's the first thing that you're asked for, okay? So you shoot your papers, and someone's gonna go over there and make sure that you don't have no bad charges in the past, or you're not there for any bad charges, and so on and so forth, that you never testified, all the bad stuff they look for. If you don't have anything, then you're good to go. Okay. Now, we started a music program on, I think it was B Yard, if I'm not mistaken, in Ironwood State Prison. Okay. It was the pilot program. It hadn't been done in any of the yards yet. And we had to do sales and stuff to get money to buy instruments. We had to buy a drum set, guitars, 2 guitars, a bass guitar, rhythm guitar, a lead guitar, and microphones, speakers, amps, the whole bit. We had nothing, okay? So we started having these bomb sales, pizza with muffins and chocolate cakes, chicken. We even had a rib sale, they let us have it, but that was the last time because an incident took place with the bones of the ribs. So anyways, we get this program started, and we would recruit people from the yard. We needed musicians, we needed singers. The blacks recruited theirs, the others recruited theirs, the paisas recruited theirs, and the sureños recruited theirs. The whites did the same. All the different race cars, started their own little groups, okay? And we split up the practice times. Lucky for me, I was the only drummer. So I had to provide the drums for every type, every genre of music, and for every group. Sounds good, right? Well, it's not good when you're not allowed to interact with another race out in the yard, okay? Can't play football with them, can't play basketball with them. It's segregated, right? And there was a homie there on the yard who was trying to do that to us also, you know, that we couldn't play with the blacks in the music program. Now, what ended up happening was there was so few musicians that even in the black group, they had an Asian drummer. I'm sorry. No, Asian guitar player. I was the drummer. And a Chicano singer from San Diego. And then the black singers. Usually, except for one guy who was black that played the guitar, they just were mostly just the singers, you know. They didn't play that many. Not that many of them played instruments. Then later on, when more inmates would come, the ones with musical skills would get invited to come in and try out. And we picked up a brother that played keyboard, you know. And little by little, the bands developed more. But it was the first program where all the races interacted, okay? And I'm going to put a picture in the thumbnail of the band. I think I have one. Anyways, so remember in the beginning of the video, I mentioned that when you get there, they check your paperwork and make sure that you don't have no funny charges and stuff. There's also other rules, of course, like you got to come out for every meal. Even if you don't eat, you go to the chow hall, you know, and you could give your food away or whatever and then go back to your cell and eat. But they want everybody, when they come out for movement, in case something pops off, which it does, you know, either during yard time, during chow, or maybe during just if you're in the day room, you know. Anyways, things were a little bit loose there. It was a 3-yard. Nevertheless, I felt it was a little bit loose. The day of the riot, the guy who had the yard was in his cell, you know. Also, the ones that had the yard for the Bloods was in his cell. You know, they were 3 of the people that had the yards were in our building. The llavero for the whites was also in our building, but he was out for chow. Only the llavero for the raza and the llavero for the blacks, they were in their cell. They didn't come out. I guess they felt they were exempt. They didn't have to. But everybody else, somebody went around and made sure that everybody came out of their cells and went to chow. And I say that to say this, okay? Now, things are set up a certain way for certain reasons, just like I just explained why they insist that you come out and you walk to chow, okay? They check the paperwork for obvious reasons, okay? We don't want those kind of people living around us and who have hurted or hurt women or a child, okay? Now, we had this singer, and that fool could blow, man. He could sing. His name was Blackbird. I don't know where he was from, and I say his name because of what happened. He really, it doesn't matter. But this guy Blackbird, like I said, man, when he came along, we were able to play so many songs because he had a large range in his voice. You know, he could sing high-pitched songs in keys that were in the upper scale, and it also could make his voice deep. So he could sing all kinds of different music, you know. Well, a couple of times he went out to court, okay? And one time I asked him, I told him, hey, where are you going? He goes, oh, I'm going to go to court. I said, all right. I go, what court are you going to? He goes, no, it's children's court. He goes, I want to make sure that I don't lose custody of my kids, right? And I didn't know what to think, I figured they checked his paperwork, right? So something goes down. I end up going to another yard. I don't remember if it was C yard or D yard. I think it was D yard. Anyways, a guy comes over from B yard and tells me, hey, check it out. Hey, your boy Blackbird? I go, Blackbird? He says, yeah, the singer, the dude that was singing for you guys. I go, oh, yeah. How's he doing? And they told me, hey, homie, they took him off the yard, got to him. And I go, what do you mean? He says, yeah, he had bad charges, That could only been for one reason, and that was that somebody didn't do their job. You know what I mean? And we were kicking back, throwing spreads together. Because I just took it for granted. They asked me for my paperwork, and they were going around asking for paperwork. I can't remember exactly if the llavero changed. Because back then it was still the, they had the llavero instead of somebody being there. That's somebody, you know what I mean? And when I was on B yard, I think I went through like 3 or 4 llaveros, same thing on the other yard. It was always turning over. I'm going to do a video about that too, because an interesting thing happened one time. Anyways, so yeah, Blackbird ended up having these bad charges on him, and all the time he was kicking it with us. We're breaking bread with him, walking the track with him. He had his area that he'd hang around with, but the failure to screen him, correctly allowed him to remain on that yard for quite a while until they finally found out that he had did some false shit, Anyways, I was just thinking about this situation because of how long it took for somebody to just go and get Dub's paperwork and take a look at it if they really wanted to know and find out what was going on with him. What he says doesn't even matter. It's in black and white, So, yeah, you got to be careful, man. If any of you end up behind bars for some reason, make sure you ask for the paperwork yourself. Whoever's gonna live in that cell with you, and make sure he's okay. Because whoever was Blackbird Sally failed also to look at that paperwork correctly and interpret it correctly, Not to mention the guys who were running the place, So just it's better if you just if you don't want to be around those kind of people, make sure where you're at and who you're with. But hopefully nobody have to ever go through that, because we're going to use our heads, make the right decision, do the right thing to stay free, stay with our family and our loved ones, and take care of them, rather than having to watch our back and keep our head on a swivel and them send us resources being locked up. Stay free, people. Whatever you got to do, make good decisions, stay free. God bless you. God bless your families. I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.